vision, right? Did you enjoy going to the park yesterday?
Yes.
You did, okay, good. Did you learn anything new about the park?
Yep.
What did you learn?
I learned that cows went over the cow bridge, and I learned about the Vikings and how they used to kill people.
Was that scary?
No.
No, you weren't scared?
No.
Yeah, that's good. Did you go to the park often?
Only on sports days in our school.
Only on sports days? After yesterday, do you think you'd go to the park more often?
No.
No, why not?
Because it was very muddy.
It was very muddy, that's true. Is there anything you'd change about the park?
Make it into like an actual park with swings and slides.
So you'd like to see more swings, more slides?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Okay, alright, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, identify your houses from here. Yeah, can you show me where your house is? Where? Careful. Sorry.
We
got to stand up. Graham, thanks a lot for letting us work with the kids over the last couple of days. It's been really useful. I was going to ask about part of our research has been to see how kids use the marsh at the moment. Not just the marsh, but particularly the nature reserve, which is the Millfields Park area and around there. And just what your view is on the kids in this group, the E5 group. Do they use the marsh a lot, or does it depend on their age or where they come from, their cultural background? What's your view on the use of the green space around here by your kids?
It's just an individual need or individual desire. I wouldn't say it's specifically a targeted group that uses it.
Yeah.
It's if it arises, I presume, boredom, exploration, it might lead them to there, but I don't know if it's a specific targeted group that actually uses the marsh. But in saying that, I'd say the under 8s probably wouldn't unaccompanied.
Yeah.
And the majority of them, I'd say, would be the early teens that would access it independently.
Right.
The young ones, I don't know, based on feedback, I'd say they enjoy it, but it'd be more like a structured or, a structured event or go with adults. Yeah.
And that's presumably, why would that be the case? Just because of the safety aspects or the perceived aspects of safety?
Perceived safety aspects, I'd say that, this area, I mean, we're in the middle of 3 estates, like we've got Nightbed, Captain Park and Kingsmead Estate, all locally. There is high crime, high unemployment, so that itself gives them atmosphere and environment where you expect negative things to happen.
Yeah.
2 minutes up the road you refer to as Murder Mile.
Really?
Yeah, and that's like based on consistent shootings over a short period of time. So that's been labelled. All those things together, parents in the local area obviously are going to, have concerns of their children going out unsupervised. And that's the main thing that we're dealing with.
And just out of interest, in terms of your, you said perception and reality, do you think that actually it's not quite as bad as people make out?
Oh, definitely not. It's not. It's just that obviously when something negative happens and the media plays on it, we all, tend to think that it's a day-to-day occurrence. It's not. I'm not going to say, the last murder was over 2 weeks ago, so it's not a regular thing. Just to have a murder in the area itself is really, really bad. But the actual fear is just being self-driven because there's no direct, I'd say, need for them to be worried about the young ones. That culture usually affect themselves, i.e. the children that are in those the gangs, the drugs, that sort of circles, they're fighting each other. I don't see how it's going to spill over. We're not in New York where there's drive-by shootings where our children are going to be at risk. So there's that, there is a lot of trouble, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of negativity, but it's amongst a certain culture. It's not spread across the board and it does not affect all our children. these children are just playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so...
What do you think in terms of what can be done to make kids more likely to access and use the marsh, the various things, and what sort of things would you maybe like to see sort of there for kids in the future? You know, whether that be in the summer, organised events, or whether it be things like sports-related things.
Well, facilities such as ours, I think, should use their marshes for things, just like days out, picnics, nature hunts, treasure hunts, tree climbing. Children love doing. In the Easter, the past 2 Easters actually, we've taken children to Hackney Forest, which is local. And as regards to facilities, there's nothing there other than trees and open spaces. But children like that, you know. And the nature reserve is something good in the area. It does need to be accessed, but it's one of those things where it's a culture that needs to be developed. Like to take a child to an open space, a child loves it, but it's the parent that needs to take the child there, or the adult, or the carer. So, you know, it's just educating parents and taking our children there, and hopefully them wanting to go there on their own as and when they can, like over the age of 8, etc. So, you know, slowly developing a culture where they begin to embrace and use the nature spaces.
I mean, one thing is, you may be aware of this or not, but recently they've been doing a lot of consultations, the council, about making improvements particularly to Millfields Park, and also to the marsh as well, and we'll come to that in a bit with the Olympics. I mean, have you heard about these consultations? Do you think that kids participate in them, or that the parents of kids have much of a say in that at all at the moment?
Well, personally, on a personal aspect, no, I know nothing about these consultations. It would be nice if they had the children in mind, in the least, if they're not involved in the consultation. And, sorry, I want to take it from there. Yeah, I've got these children looking at me making faces.
The main thing, actually, another area that was interesting is the Olympics, which is such a big thing, you know, particularly for people like Hackney and Newark, for example. And you know, there's an idea that the legacy of the Olympics will be for the people of Hackney, you know, to improve their lives, you know, in many different ways.
Well, the legacy is probably going to be paying for it, so I suppose there's something.
Yeah.
Improve our lives, I hope so. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but it's just a lot of talk, isn't it? I mean, how is it going to improve our lives? There's a lot of job fairs, etc., etc. How many people in Hackney have actually got a job through that? And I don't know no post-Olympic city who's actually benefited from it. So I don't see why Hackney is going to be any different. It would be nice if there was a legacy left behind, in that the children had access to a structure or something that is left that's going to be handed down to the children, but it's all politics, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, one of the legacy ideals is, you know, for children to be get more access to different activities and that sort of stuff, particularly people in East London, you know. But as I say,
it's a lovely idea, but I'd like to see the practicality, how they're going to see that, you know, how are they going to ensure that children from East London are going to get access to these facilities?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it actually practically implicated, it'd be great.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for your